The Seeker of Wisdom. I'm a manifestation coach, and in this video we're going to be talking about choosing between two different SPs. Now before I do so, I'd like to remind you guys I am available for coaching. So I offer hourly, monthly, email and DM coaching. The link will be in the description down below for an FAQ page where you guys will have all the answers you need, and thereafter you guys can reach out to me via Instagram or email for pricing information and to figure out what plans may be suitable for you. I also have a Facebook group where I upload resources from time to time, and you guys can ask me questions anonymously if you wish to do so. Make sure that you answer the 2 questions and agree to the group rules, otherwise my moderators will decline you with feedback asking you to do the exact same thing. I also have a mailing list where I post articles from time to time, as well as my latest offers for coaching. And last but not least, I also have a Manifest Your SP course, which is designed for veterans and beginners alike, which brings you from the starting point of your manifestation journey to the end of your SP journey, and it aids you with like quizzes and worksheets, and I explain things in videos as well to make sure that you really grasp those information which is not available anywhere else. So it really goes into detail with all of those things, guys. So it's really a neat investment if you are in the journey of manifesting your SP. And what's neat is that the prices will be bumped up as I update those information. So if you buy it now, you will get those updates for free. So it's definitely a great investment, guys. I highly recommend you check it out. If you do have any questions on that, be sure to let me know in my email as well. So without further ado, guys, let's get to this. What prompted this video actually was a couple of different Q&A, my Google form content ideas, and a few of you also DM me about this as well. So I thought, okay, you know what, why not make a video about this, so that I'm addressing as many people as I can, right? So here's the thing, when you are choosing between two different SPs, now I've already made my stance sort of like clear on dating SPs, while dating someone else while manifesting an SP, right? And even for that, the main thing is that you have to be very clear on what is it that you desire, right? You have to be very clear on what is it that you want, because if you are, then honestly you can do anything that you want in your 3D. It doesn't really matter. But the reason why I have that stance even in one of my previous videos is because a lot of people aren't clear when it comes to those kinds of things. So that's it, right? Like if you are, like, say there are situations where sometimes it's a little complicated, but like maybe a past lover just comes into the picture while you're manifesting someone else, and you're kind of thinking like, okay, am I doing something wrong, or is this a sign to get back together with them, and so on, right? So that was kind of the questions that I got. And here's the thing, like, you can choose anyone that you desire at the end of the day, because this is your reality. You are the operant power, right? And a lot of people ask me like, okay, well, how should I figure out who's the perfect one for me? Again, the answer is you are the operant power, right? You are the operant power, so you can assign anyone the role of the perfect partner, and guess what? They have to conform to that. That's the thing. If you persist in that assumption that they are your perfect partner, they have to conform to that, right? So it's not about whether they can be your perfect partner, it's about whether you want them to be the perfect partner, right? So when it comes to those, like, say 2 options, when it boils down to just 2 options, right, for simplicity's sake, right, ask yourself, okay, who would I like to be with if they are both like perfect for me, right? Like, what would be the separating factor? Is it their looks? Is it something that they have done for me? Is it because like one person, I have better memories with one person, or is it simply the idea that I'm able to, or I feel that I'm able to recreate one person with ease compared to the other, right? Because for some people, when it comes to like revising the past and everything, it really becomes a challenge, because they really can't revise those incidents, because a lot of maybe hurtful things could have been said, a lot of things could have gone down that were too unfavorable, that they think it's not worth revising per se. So take all those things into consideration, right? And when you do make a decision, though, stick to it. That's the main thing. When you do make a decision, like, stick to it, right? So it really, there's no right or wrong way to go about this. If I'm really being honest, it's more about, okay, like once I make a decision, I stick to it, right? And everyone may have very different opinions on who you should end up with, right? When I say everyone, I mean the people in your circle, right? Your friends, your family, and everything. But at the end of the day, like, there is no right or wrong answer here, and you don't have to be afraid of regretting that decision. That's one thing, is a lot of people hesitate when they are choosing between one or the other. They tend to have that fear of, okay, well, what if I regret this choice right now? And the answer is, you can't regret it if you set the intention that this is the perfect person for you, that this is indeed the perfect choice for you, or this is indeed the perfect path for you to take. You can't regret it, because why? Because this is the perfect path, because you said so. As the operant power, you declared that this was the perfect path, and so that has to like pan out in your favor as well, right? So don't be concerned about potentially regretting, because there's nothing to regret, because they are the perfect choice. And so when you make that decision, it could boil down to anything, but think about everything, like consider everything, put everything on the table, right? Whose memories do you cherish more, or like what is it that made you consider them as a potential in the first place, right? Is one person kinder than the other in your 3D? Not that that should be any deciding factor per se, but because you can make anyone conform. But again, as I mentioned, for some people, they feel like it's easier to recreate one person compared to the other. So like just throw everything onto the table, make a table literally on a piece of paper, and like just list down those reasons, and like just compare, like, okay, like and come at it from a very objective standpoint. Remove the emotion out of the equation, because when you see it from a very objective standpoint, like as though you're doing like some evaluation, it may become easier for you, right? And don't regret, or don't fear the idea of regret again, because it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, as the operant power, as the creator of your reality, you always make the perfect choice. So go into this with faith, go into this with absolute confidence, and assume that these people, whichever ones you pick, are the perfect ones for you. And like don't regret, or don't worry about what may happen to the other person if you don't choose them and everything. Intend that whoever you don't choose, again, also has a favorable, loving life as well, because this is a concern for people as well. I feel like sometimes people do overthink this quite a bit, just based on the responses I got. I feel like really people sometimes really overthink, like, okay, if I end up with this person, what would that person do? And I'm like, don't worry about it, like keep going. And again, you can set the intention for them to have a well-off life as well. And I get it, right? Like, because you don't want people to end up in a very bad situation or something, just because you choose to manifest another person or so on. But set the intention that everything is going favorable for you guys, and that's it. So at the end of the day, to summarize this, you have the power to decide who you want. And so ask yourself, like, okay, what is the deciding factor here for me? And it could be a very superficial reason, or it could be something that could be very trivial, if I'm being really honest. But at the end of the day, it is a reason nonetheless. And because here's the thing, like, both of them, when you're stuck between two choices, like, both of them can be the perfect one for you. So it could be any reason that separates them. You can take time to think about it. But the most important thing, again, and I would like to stress this, is when you do find one, like when you do like choose one, stick to that, so that you may manifest them consistently. Otherwise, like you may bring in a lot of hot and cold and everything if you are very undecisive about the whole thing. So I would say, like, take as much time as you need to first decide, and then you begin your affirmations and everything. Until then, you can do things like maybe like self-concept, and like just go general. I'm magnetic AF, everyone loves me, people find me attractive, and so on and so forth, right? So go general until then. And when you do like decide on a person, and then you go like more specific person affirmations, if you will. So that's more oriented towards the SP, if you will. So you can decide based on a lot of factors. Location could be a thing, job scope could be a thing, where they are from, or their cultural backgrounds. It could be anything, right? Not that it matters, but like you can consider all of those things when it does boil down to deciding between two people, right? And again, like going back to what made you think of these two people, to be consider them even to be a potential in the first place. Like what drew you to that, and why are they on sort of like a tiebreaker? Is it that okay, this person has this but this person has that? If it's one of those things, like again, remember, like everyone can conform to how you see them. So if it's something very trivial or something, do know that as the operant power you can always like conform. But for some people, again, like it's one of those things where do I really want to do this with this person? Again, like it really is a very personal decision, but I hope I've given you guys some things to consider here, and a bit more clarity on the situation. So let me know, guys, like what do you guys think about it in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of your queries there. Be sure to like this video, as this goes a long way for me. Be sure to subscribe. You guys have been really supportive for the channel, and I couldn't thank you guys enough. Turn on your bell notification so that you guys will know when I upload a new video every single week. Keep bringing in all the questions. I love answering or making videos based on your suggestions, guys. So thank you guys once again. So stay safe and happy manifesting. Peace.